It's you who renew and restore me. I give you all the glory. I give you all my mind, my heart, my soul. Lord, I give you.
Hey, so I just want to get on here first and foremost to say that I am not a prophet. I am not a teacher. I do not have my own ministry or none of the above. I am just coming on here and sharing my time that I had with God last night and what he gave me. So yeah, I hope that this touches somebody, encourages somebody, because when I read it, it didn't necessarily set all the way with me, but then I felt as if it was needed to share with everybody who may view this video. So here it goes. Yesterday I read Job 1 through 3, and as I read Job 1 through 3, Job 2 verses 3 through 10 brought tears to my eyes. And it brought tears to my eyes because if anybody has read the book of Job, they know that Job went through a lot. Job lost everything, and certain parts of the book really touched me, and I really felt where Job was coming from. And yeah, I just want to share the revelation and the interpretation that I got from it. So I have my notes here, if y'all see me looking down, and then I also have my Bible, which I'm gonna read verses 3 through 10, and then I'm gonna like dissect it how God gave it to me last night. So Job 3 through 10 reads, "Then the Lord said to Satan, have you considered my servant Job, that there is none like him on earth, a blameless and upright man, who fears God and shuns evil? And still he hold fast to his integrity, although you incited me against him to destroy him without cause." So Satan answered the Lord and said, "Skin for skin, yes, all that a man has he will give for his life. But stretch out your hand now and touch his bone and his flesh, and he will surely curse you to your face." And the Lord said to Satan, "Behold, he is in your hand, but spare his life." So Satan went out from the presence of the Lord and struck Job with painful boils from the sole of his foot to the crown of his head. And he took for himself a potsherd with which to scrape himself while he sat in the midst of the ashes. Then his wife said to him, "Do you still hold fast to your integrity? Curse God and die." But he said to her, "You speak as one of the foolish women speaks. Shall we indeed accept good from God? And shall we not accept adversity?" In all this, Job did not sin with his lips. So that was verse 3 through 10. Now I'm going to dissect it as I got it. So I sat there and I meditated on the word. I kept reading, and I'm like, God, like, what are you saying? Like, I hear it, I understand it, but what are you saying? Like, how does this relate to me? Like, give it to me in a way that I know what you're saying. So, y'all. Okay, so this is how I have it written in my notes. It says that God said, "And still he holds fast to his integrity, although you incited me." And incited, I think I'm saying that correctly. If not, who cares? Incited, in whatever. The word means like to provoke or to like urge them, like to persuade them, like, yeah, not urge, persuade. So basically God said, "And still he holds fast to his integrity, although you provoked me against him to destroy him without cause." Y'all, Job did nothing wrong, okay? Job did absolutely nothing wrong, okay? And God said that the enemy provoked him to go against Job to destroy him without cause. God allowed the enemy to go after Job. And I was sitting there like, okay, I'm not gonna think too deep about it. So let me just really sit here and try to unfold what it is that you're saying. So basically, as I read more into it, it said basically God allowed the devil to take everything from Satan but his life. And it said, because Satan said skin for skin, God said, okay, but not his life. So he struck Job with painful boils from the sole of his foot to the crown of his head. Y'all, I sat there and I thought, Job was not being tested, okay? This was not a test. Job was not in a test. In the first book of Job's, it reads verse 1. There was a man in the land of Uz whose name was Job, and that man was blameless and upright, and one who feared God and shunned evil. God knew that Job was an upright righteousness. God knew that Job was a righteous man who feared him and shunned evil. God knew Job already. God knew Job. He knew that Job was who he knew he was. Okay? Yet, he let the enemy provoke him to go against Job and destroy him without cause. This was not a test for Job, okay? Y'all, God was bragging, okay? God was bragging. He was like, yeah, like, I know you doing all this, I know you doing all that, but you don't know Job. You don't know Job. Job ain't one of you. Job one of me. He one of me. Yeah, that's mine. Yeah, try him. I bet you he won't. I bet you he won't. Y'all, God bragged on Job so hard, okay? And the enemy didn't come after him one time, two times, okay? He went to him, killed everybody, took all his stuff, all his possessions, killed his kids, everything. Left everybody but his wife, okay? That's all Job had with his wife and his 3 little friends. That's it. Then he turned around and God was like, yeah, see, told you, woo, told you, Job wasn't go, boom, 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 try him again. So that's what the enemy did. He tried him again. He said skin for skin. He said skin for skin. Okay. He said, all that a man has, he would give for his life. So, guess what God did? God said, okay, but spare his life though. You can have his flesh, you can have his physical, but you cannot kill him. You cannot kill him. So then he said, all right. And he struck Job with painful boils. Okay? From the top of his head to the sole of his feet. Okay? Now, let me get to the point, because that really just, like, okay, Job was not being tested. God was bragging. God was bragging on Job. Okay? So, it had me think, when God knows who you are, he knows your faith, And he knows that you will stand the test of time. Sometimes God brags on us just like he bragged on Job. And when God brags, he speaks so highly of you. He makes sure that the devil knows that you are his child. He makes sure, okay? He speaks so highly of you to the devil, it just amps the devil up. It just gets him amped up, right? Okay? And it makes him go harder in your life when God keeps speaking so highly of you, when God keeps bragging on you and all this to the enemy, okay? And it seems like you're forever going through a bad batch, like just like Job. Job seemed like he was going through that for forever, and he was, don't get me wrong, but he was going through it for forever, okay? He was going through it, okay? Through it. And even then, after he gave him the boils, Job still did not speak evil against God. He still was not mad at him. And then, so the enemy, like he do, he sent the people closest to you to try to convince you to be mad at God. This is what he did. His wife asked him, let me go for word. Do you still hold fast to your integrity? Curse God and die. So at this point, this woman is like, this man done took our kids. He done took all of our food, our livestock, all of our possessions, done burned the houses and everything. We have nothing. And you still believing in this man? Curse him and die. The devil sent that woman, although that was his wife, sent her to say that to Job, to try to still get Job to sin against God, to curse him. Job told her, he said, you speak as one of the foolish women speaks. That was Job's way of saying, you stupid. I'm not gonna do that. I'm not gonna indulge in your stupidness. Get out of my face. We're not even gonna have this conversation. So, in other words, y'all, sometimes when God is proud of you, he will make sure the enemy knows it. It don't always look like a blessing at first, but at the end of Job, you will see that Job got back ×2 of everything he lost, okay? Job lived until like 140. Job got to see his grandkids. He had more children. He got 10 times the livestock. And now Job did have to go and repent, because later Job did say some things, because Job was hurting, and he didn't understand why he was going through what he was going through, but he still believed in God. And so he did. But after Job repented, God blessed him tenfold. God blessed him tenfold, okay, for his faith, okay? So I just wanted to get on here and let y'all know that sometimes it don't always look like a blessing. When God is proud of you and you was doing what you're supposed to do and you headed in the right track, sometimes the enemy keeps seeming like he just at you. Sometimes that be God allowing it. Sometimes God allows the enemy to come in and do certain things. But let me tell you something. When God bless you, when God blesses you, he adds no sorrow, okay? So, yeah, that's what I had to get on here and say, and I hope that this message was a blessing, encouragement, or what have you. But yeah, and deuces.
Used to be the life of the party. Seeing the lights on my body. Walk in the room feeling godly. Walk in the room